Motion passes to accept the minutes of September 3rd meeting. Public comments. Any public comments? Mr. Schwing?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
A few. I notice again that our first selectman is absent. This is very unusual for Tony not to be at the Board of Selectmen's meeting, so I was wondering if there was any news or information you could share with the public on what's going on.
We don't have any information to share with the public at this time. All I know is that he's not here tonight, and he very well may be at the next meeting. There's no saying at this point.
Okay. Then I'll ask you a question because I was going to ask him, but on the Ecotourism Center, September 16 was supposed to be the date that the extension of the contract with Jeff Brumwell was supposed to stop. I was wondering if
it was extended to September 16th.
Yes,
right.
Do you know anything about that?
I don't know. I don't know if there was. It was further extended.
It was further extended.
It's been further extended.
Okay. Do you know the date?
No, I don't know the date. I just heard the word it was further extended. I understand there's a lot of environmental problems that have to be worked out before the sale can take place.
Okay.
And there's something else about a well, and I don't understand that, but a well has to be dug or on the property. And I don't know if that's a condition of the sale or what. Or, you know, in other words, the new person has to be able to have a water supply.
Okay.
However, but the issue of whether the contract was to be amended was brought up, and no action has been taken to amend that contract, except they would have the right to extend it without amending any of the terms of the contract.
The same steel price and everything else.
That nothing that my knowledge has been altered on that part of it.
So my third question that I could be maybe asked at the update transfer station, but I do have a copy of the draft of the consent order from DEP, and they mentioned the date of March 31st, 2009 as a closing date for the transfer station, and I was wondering if you had any updates on that at this point.
That's actually an update, because where did you retain that? Because I haven't seen it. Yeah, okay. My understanding was September.
I don't think that's been signed.
Is it what you have? Are you saying?
I don't have it here, but it says something about March 31st, 2000.
Do you know if that was a proposal, or do you know if that was actual?
The final draft hasn't been signed yet.
Hasn't been signed yet, because my understanding was that it was September of 2008. There was talk that it might be extended to December, but I don't know if that was extended to December.
2009.
I'm sorry, I apologize. 2009, yeah, not this year, yeah, 2009. So I don't know if what that document is that you looked at, but as far as I know, it's September 2009. Yeah, I don't know if it's been altered. If that's an old document or not, I don't know.
It's not been agreed to.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a proposal. It's a draft proposal, but nobody's agreed to it.
Okay. He was first, yes.
With all due respect, John, I'm kind of flabbergasted that there's no announcement about Tony's absence. This is the 5th meeting he's missed, and there's no explanation whatsoever to the public about the fact that our chief town executive has been absent for all the meetings the past 2 months that he is ordinarily in charge of.
Well, you know, I don't necessarily think that's accurate. That he runs the town. These meetings are run by the Board of Selectmen. So, from my understanding, he is still running the town. He is still in his office on a daily basis and doing his everyday duties. This is just one of many duties that he has. But we can still run the meetings with the majority of the Board of Selectmen. We don't necessarily need him here to run it.
It just seems highly unusual that no announcement has been made to the public about the whereabouts of the town's chief executive if he's not in the most visible place that he usually is for 5 meetings running. Doesn't strike you as unusual?
Well,
you know, about somebody's health might be made. Or, I mean, we don't have anything but rumors to understand where our first selectman is.
You know, I have been able to contact him at his office, and I've seen him at his office and spoke to him at his office. I think, Bob, have you seen him at his office? So you know, again, this is just one of his duties, and he is still running the town. You know,
when the public comes and asks questions, and he's the guy who knows the information, and with all due respect, you know, you guys may not be fully up to speed as he is on it, that leaves a vacuum in our ability to have confidence that business is going as it should.
Well, that would be your opinion, that it leaves a vacuum, because you can, yeah, well, this whole camera and being on television and using this meeting as a forum for some people to ask questions is not the only forum. If you have a question, or anyone has a question out there, they can go to the First Selectman's office, they can write the First Selectman a letter, they can write the First Selectman an email, they can call the First Selectman. This is not the only forum to which anyone can ask a question or get an answer. It's the most public one because we have a camera here and it's on television. But that's not the only way to get an answer.
It's a meeting of the town government. We are the town government. So if our town executive isn't at them, then there's an inability to do business.
No, it's not true. We have a majority of the Board of Selectmen here, and we are still doing business.
I think it's highly irregular not to have any public announcement whatsoever about the situation vis-a-vis the First Selectman's absence for 5 meetings in a row.
I would suggest that maybe there'll be a question for First Selectman, and again, he's there, but you can ask it in another venue aside from here. Ms. Nesty? Oh, sure.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
All due respect, you guys say that you can make decisions and answer questions, but most of the time when you guys talk, it's you don't know and you don't have answers and decisions, which leaves us once again in the vacuum. So if he's the only one that makes the final decision, then he should be here. And I would like actually to know if I can get a copy of a job description for the First Selectman, because if this is part of his job description, he should be here. If it's part of the job description.
His job description is probably, you can get it out of the statute, Connecticut General Statute, and there's a charter. And there's a charter, which you can get at Town Hall. But remember, when we do public comments, anyone can ask any question they want. And there's not necessarily any different answer you would get if Mr. Bondi was here than us. Because we don't know what question anyone's going to ask in a public comment. When we go over our agenda, and we're voting on issues, we have that information, enough information to make decisions of things that need to be done. But we may not know an answer to every one of your questions.
You know, it almost feels like North Korea where, you know, everybody keeps quiet because the big guy is sick or something, and nobody should know because it's not, you know, a democracy. This is a democracy. We don't care if Tony doesn't come, but if he's sick, we should know. And if he just doesn't want to come, you should say that. Tony doesn't feel like attending the last few meetings. But you keep it such a secrecy that people start wondering, why are they doing this? And you make everybody even more suspicious. So just come out in the open and tell people.
Well, yeah. Well, one, I've never been to North Korea, so I can't really comment on that. You're assuming again that you can't get that answer. I'd go down to First Selectman's office and ask him if you have a question.
Sean,